Hello, everybody. Welcome to the next game in the 1987 National League replay this Friday morning. It is the second game on the May 14th block, game number 227 overall on the replay. It is the Texas Rangers and the New York Yankees from Yankee Stadium. Yankee Stadium singles are 1-7, both left and right. Home runs. Get the volume off there. Home runs, I got feet and kickback there. Home runs are 1-9 for lefties and 1-8 for right-handers. All right, starting pitchers: Dennis Rasmussen, a left-hander for the Yankees, against Ed Correa, a right-hander for the Rangers. Unfortunately for the Rangers, Ed Correa is a +5 hold rating, so the speedsters like Ricky Henderson and Claudell Washington might be having a field day there. Correa also has a 20 wild pitch rating, so if a wild pitch comes up, it's going to be automatic on him. And the catcher, Don Slott, has a pass ball of 16, so if we get a pass ball or wild pitch check on the Havoc roll, it's almost guaranteed to happen. Conversely, Rasmussen is a, I'm sorry, I put a +3 here. It should have been I put a -3 and it should be a +3. Rasmussen is a +3 hold and Skinner's a 0, so that means Texas also, although they don't run a whole lot, will possibly have an opportunity. So good Friday morning to everybody. Hope you're having a great Friday morning wherever you are. The first day of August, we made it through that hot July. It's been hot most places. Today here, it's a little humid, but it's only in the mid-70s, so we'll take it. Compared to the triple-digit heat indexes we've had for much of July, we will take this. A little overcast, but that's okay. Don't need the sunshine right now. We just need to have a cooler temperature so we can breathe. So get the Strat computer going here, and we will get ready to get this game underway. The previous game in the series was a wild one that Texas came back and won. Yankees were ahead 10-2 after 5 innings. And then the bullpen, particularly Tim Stoddard, just gave it up in the 7th. And then Righetti blew it in the 9th, giving up 2 runs there. Mahorsic for the Rangers was the winner, went 2 2/3. Since he pitched 2 2/3 yesterday, he is unavailable for this game, and except in a very extreme case of emergency. But he's going to be the last line of defense. The other pitcher just only went 1 inning, so it's no big deal. But we really want to try to keep it realistic and not overwork guys. So Mahorsic would be the last call for a bullpen arm if it came up. All right. We are ready to get this game going from Yankee Stadium. Got our dice right here ready to go. And we'll go ahead and get Dennis Rasmussen up for his warm-up tosses. And get you the numbers on Rasmussen on the replay. He is 1, and I forgot to write it in on the score sheet. He is 1-2 on the replay with a 4.66 earned run average. Pretty good because he had a 4.75 real world, so that's pretty accurate. 39 innings pitched, 37 hits, 10 walks, 26 strikeouts. Leading off for the Rangers will be right-handed center fielder Bob Brower. Brower on the replay hitting .299, a homer and 12 driven in. He hit .261 real world. Rangers come into the game 14-16. Yankees come in 21-12, battling Toronto and Milwaukee for that first place spot in the American League East. And of course, since it's a morning game, you know the coffee is going to be there. Got to have my coffee. No question about it. Got to have the coffee. All right, we are ready to go. 1-6 for Brower against the lefty, struck him out. So good start for Rasmussen or a bad start for Brower, depending on how you want to look at it. It's always 2 sides to that coin. And I'll bring up Scott Fletcher. Of course, at noon today will be Fun Day Friday, and it'll be a game I haven't played in a long time, but I'll be presenting that as I've started to do here the last 4 or 5 Fridays. Fun Day Friday. Noon, it'll be live. Was going to pre-record it, but I decided to do it live, and it will be a game I have not played before. The only hint I'm going to give is Ryan Sandberg will be in the game, so you know it's going to be something from the 80s or 90s, and I just won't give the engine or the year or any of that stuff. So have to check that out for yourself. Here's Scott Fletcher. Fletcher on the replay, hitting 287, a homer and 20 driven in on the replay. And guess what? He hit 287 real world, so he's right on pace. I'm telling you, Strat-O-Matic has got this thing down for the most part. Say what you want about all the other stuff. 2-9, and that's going to be a single. Say what you want to about 50-50 or whatever, but when you start playing a full season, I think, and I'm hoping that, and by doing this and playing the whole season, I'm hoping it does confirm my original thoughts that it would, in fact, work out. All right, so Fletcher got a chance to get the lead, 2 through 6 or a 10. He gets the lead. 8, he gets picked off, but that +3 is awful juicy and tempting, so they're going to try for the lead for Fletcher. That's a 7, and he misses all the numbers, so he does not get the lead. Fletcher will not get the lead. Here comes Ruben Sierra. He's in right field for this one, as he normally is. Hitting 276, 11 homers, 25 driven in. He had 263 real world. That's a 6'4", switch hitter batting right-handed, 6'4". Ground ball third base X, that's Mike Pagliarulo. He's a 2E20. So possible double play if he can get a good number on the double die. And a 9, that's a rare play with a 5. So a 9 comes up on a 2 rated infielder. A 9 is a G2. So we're going to a G2 rare play, which is one of these, unfortunately, not so rare plays. Deflects off the pitcher, blah, blah, blah. But this does say runners advanced if forced. So there won't be a fielder's choice because it deflected off the whatever. The Fletcher's actually going to get second base. So we're going to call this, we'll call it 1-5-3 for the out. Like I said, it's not necessarily a rare play. It's just kind of a, I don't know what you call it, but it's not my idea of a rare play, but hey, can't have everything. All right, here's Pete Incaviglia, Mr. Strikeout himself, hitting 243 on the replay, 4 homers, 18 driven in. He struck out 44 times and 115 at-bats. Rasmussen to Incaviglia, 310, and that's a strikeout. He's going to strike out again, so he's living up to his name there, and that's going to end the inning. So nothing for the Rangers. As we go to the bottom of the first. No score. Ed Correa will be finishing his warm-up tosses. Get the numbers on Correa on the replay. He's 2-2, but his ERA is 7.04. But then again, his ERA in real world was 7.59. So again, not that far off. 31 innings pitched, 32 hits, 24 walks, 23 strikeouts. And leading off for the Yankees will be Mr. Ricky Henderson, hitting 311, 5 homers, 16 driven in. He had 291 real world. Ricky has 8 stolen bases so far in the replay. He stole 41 real world. 5-10 on Correa. Fly ball center field X. We're looking at Brower. He's a 3E14. And it would behoove the Rangers to make this catch and keep Ricky off the bases. 3 and a 13 should be fine. 3 and a 13 is an F2. So that's a good part. Got the first part down. Here's a 14. And he is an E14. That could be trouble. That's a high error rating for a center fielder. 14, but fortunately for him, 12, 17, 16, and 18, and 3, but no 14. So Rob Brower. A little bit difficulty with the catch, but he does make the catch and keeps Ricky off the bases. Ricky not too happy about it. Here's Willie Randolph. Randolph is hitting 299 on the replay. No homers, 15 driven in. He hit 305 real world. So again, he's right on his number. It's a 3-7 against the right-hander, and that's a base on balls. And that's been the bugaboo of Ed Correa in this replay and in real world was the walks. All right, his +5 makes this awful tempting to try to get that 3 for Willie Randolph. Can't get the 3, though, so not going to try it. Here is Donnie Baseball, Don Mattingly. He is hitting 294. I'm sorry, 284 on the replay. 4 homers, 19 driven in. He's underperforming a bit. He hit 327 real world. 5'11 against a left-hander is a ground ball pitcher X. Ed Correa is an E38. He's a 3E38. 3E38. See if we can get to it with and the devil die is a 2, so that's going to get by him for a base hit. 3 and a 2 is a single 1-star, so that'll move everybody up, but then we have to check for an error on that E38 for a pitcher. All these numbers can match up to be an error. It's going to be hard for him not to make an error, actually. That is a total of 9, E38. And what do you know? He missed the error. 6, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15, but no 9. So he's fortunate he did not make an error, but the base hit is good for Mr. Baseball, Mr. Donnie Baseball. So first and second, one away for Claudell Washington. Claudell on the replay hitting 389, 2 homers, 13 driven in, just 54 at bats. He hit 279 real world. Claudell against Correa. 4-7, left-handed is a ground ball second base X. Ground ball second base X, and that is Kunkel. He's a 3E41. 3 to 9. Probably won't be a double play, but they should at least get a chance at an out. Let's see here. 3 and a 9 is a G3, so the runners are going to advance. E41 for second base is way down here. 11, 13, 3, 17, and 18. That's an 8. So there won't be an error, but it will be a ground out with the runners advancing. So 4-3 ground out. Randolph goes to third. Mattingly goes to second. But now there are 2 outs, and it's going to take a clutch hit from Mr. May, Dave Winfield, if the Yankees are going to get on the board, or a wild pitch / balk / pass ball, which could happen. All right, Winfield on the replay. Winfield hitting 246, 5 homers, 17 driven in. He's underperforming. He hit 275 real world. Clutch situation for Winfield. In the clutch, he gains a hit on 111. Everywhere else, he is neutral. That's a 4-7, and that's going to be another walk for Correa, and that will load the bases. So bases are loaded for the DH, Gary Ward. Ward has a chance to break this game open early. 219 is average on the replay, so he's underperforming. A homer, 12 driven in, he hit 248 real world. However, no matter how much they blow this game open, the Yankees did lead 10-2 after 5 in the previous game, so no lead is safe with the Yankee bullpen. It's a 4-7, and that's the same roll we just had. It's another walk, and Correa his 3rd walk of the inning. And this one brings home a run. The Yankees lead it 1-0. And the Rangers already had their bullpen extended a little bit in the previous game, so they really would like Correa to eat some innings, but they may not be able to keep him around very long. Here is Pagliarulo. He's hitting 255 on the replay, 10 homers, 20 driven in. Got a chance here with the bases loaded. Correa having trouble finding the strike zone with 3 walks in the inning already. It's a 2-8 for Pagliarulo, and he grounds to third. Buchel's got it to end the inning. So they limit the damage to 1 run. Could have been a lot worse. So at the end of 1 complete, it is Yankees 1 and the Rangers nothing. So Correa, a little bit of trouble there in that bottom of the first. Rasmussen back out, and he'll be facing O'Brien, Parrish, and Slaughter. He only has a 5 fatigue, so if they could get 5 or 6 innings out of him that are good, I guess they'll be happy. No, Incavilla struck out last time. He's not up there now. Pete O'Brien's leadoff man. Pete O'Brien on the replay hitting 351. He's really tearing it up. 8 home runs, 25 driven in. Hit 286 real world. It's a 5-7 to the lefty, and that's a walk. So it's going to be walkitis here. Maybe the wildness of Correa is rubbing off on Rasmussen. O'Brien, no threat to run, will not be held. Here's the DH, Larry Parrish. Hello, Mike in the truck. Good to see you on this Friday morning. If you're driving around in the truck, be safe out there. Parrish, the DH, is hitting 248 on the replay. 6 homers, 16 driven in. He hit 268 real world, so it's 20 points behind, but not too bad. Again, he's only had 105 at bats, only had about 20% of his total at bats, so take all these stats with a grain of salt. Nothing on the Havoc. Here's the pitch to Parrish from Rasmussen. 1-6, and that's a strikeout. Strikeout number 3 for Rasmussen. One thing, the Ranger hitters do strike out a lot. That is for sure. Here's Don Slaught. He will eventually go to the Yankees next year, but right now he is with the Rangers in 87. He's hitting 269, 5 homers, 15 driven in, much better than his 224 yearly average. It's a 4-8 right-handed. That's a 1-8 single, and else he lines to short. That's a 12, so he lines it to Tollison. And that is out number 2. 2 down, and that will send up Steve Buechele, third baseman. Buechele hitting 237, 3 homers, 15 driven in the replay. And he hit 237 in real world, so he's one of the ones that are right on the number. He's had about a little less than 1/3 of his total at bats. (6-5), and that's a ground ball to Willie Randolph. He'll handle it, and that'll end the inning. So nothing doing for Texas. Go to the bottom of the second, still 1-0 Yankees from the stadium. Correa, he has a fatigue of 5 also, and he'll be facing Wayne Tollison to lead it off. Tollison hitting 208 on the replay, 2 homers, 13 driven in. He hit 221 real world. 4-3, switch hitter batting left. It's a ballpark blast, but he has weak power. It'll be a 1-9, but that's going to fail anyway, so it's just a fly to right. So Tollison flies out to Sierra, 1 away. For the number 9 man, Joel Leonard Skinner, catcher. He's hitting a $171 on the replay, a homer and 7 driven in. He only hit 137 real world. 6-5, and that's a strikeout. First strikeout for Correa. He's having a much better second inning than he had in the first, that's for sure. 2 quick outs, but here comes Ricky. He's in scoring position from the batter's box, so you got to be careful about him. 2-2, that's a ballpark single check. 1-7, but that's a 17, so he's going to foul it out to Slaught behind the plate to end the inning. So a much better inning that time for Mr. Correa, and at the end of 2, it's still 1-0 Yankees. Rasmussen will face the number 9 man, Jeff Kunkel. Very much a part-time player. He had 32 total at-bats in the season. On the replay, he's had 8 at-bats, so he's got 25% of his playing time in. He's hitting 375 in those 8 at-bats, but take that with a grain of salt. He hit 219 real world. I'm sure as he finishes up these last 24 at-bats, his average will start to decline as the averages catch up to him. 4-7. 4-7, 1's a double, but anything else he flies to left, and he's going to fly it to left field for Mr. Ricky to put it away. 1 down. And that'll send up the top of the order Bob Brower. He struck out his first chance. Hello, Dan. Good to see you. Bob Brower, 5'10", catcher X. That is Skinner. He's a 2-4, but nobody's on base and no chance of a wild pitch or pass ball. We're just going to see if it's a fielding. Well, there's a rare play, so we've got to keep an eye on that. He's a catcher number 2, and that's a 7. Catcher 2 and a 7 is a P/P, but it is a rare play on a P/P. The batter swings and misses the pitch, but he is advanced to first base when the umpire calls a catcher's interference. So how about that? We got a catcher. I'm sorry, that's P/. Is that P/F or P/? That's P/F. We had a P/P. My bad. Over here. With no runners on, the batter swings at a pitch that gets past the catcher on a 2-2 count. The batter beats the throw from the catcher to first. Credit the catcher with a pass ball, and the pitcher and batter with the strikeout. So how about that? We got a strikeout pass ball combination. That's a little bit of a rare. Finally, something unusual came up on the Strat-O-Matic thing. So we got a strikeout plus pass ball. So how about that? Strikeout plus pass ball. So that's interesting. Strat computer, I don't see a way to put that in there. There is no combination for that. So I'm just going to have to put it as a strikeout with a runner at first. That's all I can do. Doesn't really give me an option otherwise. All right, so Brower, to get the lead, needs a 2 through 9. That's a 3. He gets the lead to steal. 15 being held to 13. But then the +3 from Rasmussen makes it a 16. So 1 to 16, he's going to go. And he's in there, barely. Stolen base with that 16 right on the number. Willie Randolph argues, but to no avail. It will be a stolen base. So Brower is aboard with 1 out on second base in scoring position for Scott Fletcher. That's a 3-7 for Fletcher against the lefty. 1 is a single, and else he lines to short, so he will line it to Tolleson. 2 down. So finally, a rare play that actually was a little bit more interesting than the ball hitting off the mound and bouncing to a fielder. So at least Strat got that one pretty good, I guess. Here's Sierra. 5-6, switch hitter batting right-handed. 5-6 is a walk. That's going to put 2 on, and that's the second walk for Rasmussen. 2 on, 2 outs for the big guy in Cavilla. He did strike out his first time up. 1, so that's a chance of a wild pitch on Rasmussen, which is an 8. And it's blocked by Skinner, so no wild pitch. 6-8, and that's a strikeout. Once again, he strikes out in Cavilla to end the inning. 4th strikeout for Mr. Rasmussen. And Incavilla is 0-for-2 with 2 Ks. No surprise there. We go to the bottom of the 3rd. Still no score. I'm sorry, still Yankees 1, Texas nothing. Still Texas has no score. Correa back out will face the heart of the order. Randolph, Mattingly, and Washington. Randolph walked and scored his first time up. 4-6, and that's a 1-7 single, but that's a 19, so he's going to line it to Fletcher. 1 away. And again, don't forget noon today, Fun Day Friday. A game I have not played in a long time will be presented. Here's Don Mattingly. 6-9, and that's a walk. Yet another walk for Correa. That is walk number 4. Mattingly, of course, no threat to run. Here's Claudell. Hello, Jeremiah. Here's Claudell Washington. 3-5 to the right against a right-hander is a single to right field. Mattingly does not run all that well, so they will hold him. Let's see. He's 12. He might go. He's a 12, not being held as a 13 from first base, from right field to third base. You gain 2, gives him a 15. But Sierra's -2 is a 13. And if they do throw through, Washington would take second on the play. But it's a 1-13 with 1 out. You know, to get him to third base with 1 out would be big. So 1-13, they're going to send him. The question is, do the Rangers feel lucky? Because if they don't get him, Washington's going to be a second, and they'll have second and third with only 1 out. If they want to hold the ball and keep the double play in order. But I think 1-13, they got to try for him. So Mattingly's going to go for third. They're going to try for him. 1-13, he's safe. 14-20, Sierra throws him out. And he's safely in there. And Claudell will take second on the throw. So that's big. Big single there. Puts runners at second and third with only 1 out for Mr. May, Dave Winfield. Infield is in against Winfield. Infield is in. Winfield walked his first chance. 4-4, and it's a ground ball shortstop X. The infield is in. Fletcher's a 3E26. And that's a 16, so that should probably be a G1, as long as he doesn't make an error. 3 and a 16 is a G1. He's an error rating of 15. And the only way we have an error on a 15, wait a minute, that's not right. E26, my bad, E26. 12, 17, and 18, that is a 14, so there's no error there. So second and third on a G1 with the infield in is on the batter. Everybody else holds. So they kept the run from scoring by bringing the infield in. Kind of a no-brainer at this point, though. You really don't want to give up cheap runs if you can avoid it. So all runners had to hold. Fletcher looked everybody back, threw Winfield out. 2 down for Gary Ward. Clutch situation for Ward. And in the clutch, he gains a hit on 2-10. Everywhere else, he is neutral. Correa trying to get out of it. 2-7, and that's a strikeout. He did do it. Correa gets out of the mess. He juggles it around and gets out of the mess. Keeps the Yankees off the board, which is the bottom line. At the end of 3, it's only New York 1, Texas nothing. So I was expecting more runs, and they may be coming. We've still got 6 innings to go. But as for now, it's still a pretty tight ball game. Rasmussen back out will face O'Brien, Parrish, and Slot. Start the top of the 4th. 6-6, lefty on lefty is a strikeout. Strikeout number 5 for Dennis Rasmussen. Brings up Parrish. Parrish, also a strikeout victim his first time up. 6-7, and that is a ground ball shortstop X. We're looking at Tollison. He's a 3E22. 3 and a 14 is good. The E22 and a 15. E22, the 15 right there, smack dab in the middle, and that means Tollison's going to boot it. 15 is right there, and he is an E22, so Tollison will boot this. 1 base error on Mr. Tollison. Parrish is aboard for Don Slot. Parrish, of course, will not be held. He doesn't run well at all. And Don Slot, the catcher, due up. 6-7. Well, he's going to hit it right back to Tollison again and give him another chance. 3 and a 9. See what he does with that. 3 and a 9 is a G3, so his only play is going to be to first base, but will he not blow it this time? E22, there's no 9, so he's okay with that, but the runner will advance to second base. 6-3, first base was his only opportunity. Does get Slot for the second out. But in the meanwhile, Parrish goes to second. So he's in scoring position with 2 outs for Steve Buechele in the clutch against left-handers. Buechele does get a hit on 1-4. He is neutral everywhere else. That's a 4-9 to a right-hander. That's a ballpark blast. Buechele, 1-8 is a home run. He does have normal power, but that's a 12. So just a deep fly to left that Ricky hauls in at the track. And Rasmussen gets away with one. And the Yankees get out unscathed. We still go to the bottom of the 4th. It's still 1-0 favor of the Pinstripers. Due up for the Yanks, bottom of the order. Pagliarulo, Tollison, and Skinner. So Rasmussen was able to pitch around that Tollison error. 6-4, left-handed, is a ballpark single check, 1-7, but that's an 11. So he will end up flying to left field, where Incaviglia will haul it in. 1 down. Here's Wayne Tollison, and I've explained this several times, but for those who missed it or haven't heard it before, when there's a failed ballpark check and there's nobody on base, I do not go to the obligatory line out, second line out to short, because I don't like to have so many. It's just going to create excessive put out numbers for those guys. So when the base running is not affected at all, like in this case here, I'm just going to have him fly to left. I'm not going to have him line to second. To me, it just gives better flavor and better out distribution instead of giving second baseman and shortstops 400 and 500 putouts that they don't really would normally get. So just my little home brew there. All right, here's top. But if base running would be effective, then I will definitely go back to the original role. Here's Tollison, 4-10, switch hitter batting left, 4-10, and home run chance. Of course, he has weak power. 1 to 14 is a single, 15 to 20 is a double. That is a double for Wayne Tollison. Double for Wayne Tollison. So Tollison trying to make up for that error with the double. Here's Joel Skinner. Thank you, Dan. I get a good idea once every 6 months, maybe. So it happens, whether I want to or not. Most of my ideas aren't that good, but sometimes I get lucky. All right, here's Joel Skinner. 2-7, and that's a strikeout. That is strikeout number 3 for Correa. Now he can get out of this. Got to get Ricky. Clutch situation for Ricky, and he loses a hit on 110. Everywhere else he's neutral. I'm sorry, he loses a hit on 2-5 and 2-6, so he's definitely anti-clutch. Hello, Canadian. Good to see you. 3-11, and that's a ballpark blast for Ricky. 1-8, but that's a 20. Boy, if this had been advanced, that'd have been a home run, but not in super advanced. It's going to be a deep fly to left, and that's going to end the inning as Incavilla gets it on the warning track. That's going to end the inning. We go to the 5th, and this will be the fatigue inning for both starting pitchers. They both have a number 5 by their name, so have to be cognizant of possible fatigue coming up. Jeff Kunkel, second baseman, will lead things off. Kunkel flew to left his first shot. 3-6 against the lefty. He's going to strike out. Strikeout number 6 for Rasmussen. I'm telling you, the Ranger hitters have holes in their bats because they strike out quite a bit as a team. Actually, there's 7 strikeouts because I didn't count the strikeout on the pass ball up here. So let me fix my numbers here. That's actually 7 strikeouts now for Rasmussen because of the strikeout pass ball. I didn't even count that. All right, now here is Broward. 6-9. Fly ball to center, and Claudel Washington will make that play. 2 down for Scott Fletcher. I agree, Dan. That's why I had to do something. So that was my best thought to do something about it. Now, again, if it would affect base running, I'm not going to do it. So, like if the ballpark fail check is a fly ball B, that would be a sacrifice fly. Obviously, I'm not going to allow that to happen. I will count it as a line out. But otherwise, I try to get a little bit better distribution. 5-7, right-handed, ground ball, second base X. We're looking at the venerable Willie Randolph. 2E17. 2-5, but I think even with the double die being that low, I think a 2 is okay. He is a G3, good enough. That's a 10. You don't get many errors on 10s. E17 should be just fine. Yep, no 10 there, so it's good play for Randolph. And Rasmussen will maintain full endurance as he goes 1, 2, 3 in the order with no ding at all. He keeps full endurance for the 6th, and the Yankees could use, both teams could use it because they used a lot of bullpen arms yesterday with that wild game. So they're looking to get some length out of their starters. That's true, Dana. I did get your email, and after this game is over, I will email you the PDF of this score sheet. If anybody else wants a PDF of this score sheet, put your email address in the chat or send me an email to myself, and I will get it to you. Here is Willie Randolph. That is a 3-4, and that's a ballpark single check, 1-8. That's a 7, so this Randolph will sneak it by for a base hit. And he's going to be looking to get the lead, but he has to have a 3 to do it. Has to have a 3 to do it. Does not get it, so he will not get the lead. Here's Don Mattingly, Donnie Baseball. He is singled and walked. 4-11, left-handed. Ballpark single again, 1-7. That's a 13. So that's going to be a line. Since that original roll was a single, the only thing I can do is make it a line out to second. I guess I could homebrew something, but make it make it a liner to first or something like that. Maybe I'll start doing that. I think I'm going to make that a liner to first. And if he's right-handed, a liner to third. When the original roll is a single with the ballpark, instead of making a line out second, line to short, I think I'm going to start making it line out to first, line out to third, just to kind of mix it up a little bit. Maybe not all the time, because I don't want the first baseman and third baseman getting all these put-outs either, but you got to do something. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and have him line it out to first. Like I said, it doesn't matter. It's all aesthetics. And like I said, play the game you want to play the way you want to play it. Here's Claudel. As long as it doesn't affect the integrity of the game. 6-7, and that is a 1-4 single. 5 or higher is a line out to second. So you get your line out to seconds a lot on these other rolls anyway. So why add to it with the ballpark stuff? All right, here's Winfield. Just my little editorial there. 2-4 for Winfield is a pop up to first, and that's going to end the inning. So at the end of 5, it's still 1-0. Very surprised that this score is not more than what it is. I thought this would be about a 6-5 game at least by now. But both starters holding their own and maintaining endurance. So Rasmussen back out will face Sierra, Incavilla, and O'Brien. 3-9, and that's against the left-hander. That's a ballpark blast. It's a 1-9, but that's a 17. So it's going to be, I'm sorry, it's a 1-8 because he's batting right-handed. Still didn't matter. 17, he fails. So it's a fly to left. And Ricky puts it away. 1 down for Incavilla. 6-4. Ground ball third base X. We're looking at Pagliarulo. He's a 2E20. 2 and a 6. Low double die, but 2 and a 6 should still work. It does with the G2. At third base, he is an E20. So he needs to avoid 11, 14, and 15. And that's a 15. So that's going to be a 2-base error on Pagliarulo right there. E20 and a 15. Bright as day right there. 15. So it's a 2-base error on Pagliarulo. Second error of the game on the Yankees. This one a 2-base variety on Pagliarulo. So the left side of the infield is not doing well for the Yankees. Lou Piniella not happy about that. They went over fundamentals in practice on this, and they're just not following along. They might need to watch Harold Reynolds on Baseball Tonight to figure out how to feel these ground balls. All right, here's O'Brien. 5-5 left-handed is a single to right field. Incavilla does not run well. It was not being held, makes him an 11. But Winfield's a -4 arm, so they're going to put the brakes on right there and hold him at third base. So first and third with only 1 out. And Larry Parrish, the batter. O'Brien not being held at first. Possible double play if they get a ground ball. Rasmussen needs a ground ball that's actually fielded well. 2-6, or he'll take the strikeout. That will help him too. Strikeout number 8 for Rasmussen. That's a big one. Now there's 2 outs with runners on the corners for Don Slaught in a clutch situation. He gains a hit on a 110. Everything else he's neutral. Rasmussen trying to pitch around the error once again. 4-8. 1-8 is a single. 9-20 is a line out to short. That's a 1. So this time the devil die comes up low and it cost him a run. That's an unearned run as Don Slaught gets the RBI single to tie the game. And Rasmussen is staring over at Pagliarulo, giving him the dirty look. Pags is saying, hey, you gave us the single, but wouldn't be there if it wasn't Pags' 2-base error. Here's Buechele. 6-7, right-handed. Ground ball shortstop X. We're going back to Tollefson again. He's a 3E22. 3 and a 2. Devil die comes up low again. That might be an RBI. 3 and a 2. It certainly is. Single 2 stars. That's another unearned run. Single 2 stars will score. Mr. O'Brien will move Slot to third, and Buechele is at first. But now we're checking for the error. That's a 9, and he's an E22. E22, there is no 9, but Tollison not being able to get to that. And the Rangers have taken a 2-1 lead. And now Rasmussen on the verge of fatigue. Yankee bullpen. Actually, Rasmussen has hit fatigue now. Strat Computer has confirmed it. He has hit fatigue. Yankee bullpen is active. We'll see who the most rested Yankee bullpen arm is, because they did use quite a few pitchers in the previous game. Let's see here. It looks like, yep. Well, he's been overworked during the season. You know what? He got crushed in the last game, so Lou Piniella is going to try to restore his confidence. They're going to bring back Tim Stoddard and see if he can't do better this time. So he's in the bullpen. They're going to let Rasmussen face Kunkel. If he doesn't get Kunkel, he's probably out of here. But Stoddard is loosening in the bullpen. First and third, 2 down. Buechele not being held. Here's the pitch to Kunkel. That's a 6-7 and another ground ball. Boy, they're just wearing out Tollison over there at short. 3-22. He's got to hope for a better devil die. 7. That should be good enough to at least get to it. All he needs is 1 out. Just has to get to it. So a 3 and a 7 is a G3 pound, but nobody was being held on, so the pound's irrelevant. That's a 10, so that should be no problem at all with the E22. There is no 10, so this time Tollison makes the play to end the inning, but 2 runs come in. They're both unearned, all because of that 2-base error to start the inning by Pagliarulo. So 2 unearned runs. That's going to be it for Rasmussen. They will bring in Stoddard to pitch the 7th. So we'll get the final numbers on Rasmussen. He's going to go 6 innings, give up 4 hits and 2 runs, which none of them were earned. He is going to strike out 8 and walk 2. So he pitched well enough to win, but the Yankees just aren't getting him any run support. Now, if the Yankees come back and take the lead this inning, he could still qualify for the win. So anything's possible, particularly with Ed Correa on the mound. You never know what's going to happen. And here comes Mr. May to help him out. I'm sorry, not Mr. May. He made it last out last time. Gary Ward, DH, will be trying to help him out. Ward, Pagliarulo, and Tollison, scheduled hitters. 5-7 is another walk by Correa. What's new? For Correa, that is walk number. Let's see, he had 3 in the first, 4. This is number 5. Walk number 5 for Correa. Ward is aboard. Will not go anywhere. And here's Pagliarulo. 1-5 for Pags. That's a ground ball to first. Double play. 3-6-3. 3-6-3 double play. Huge double play turned. So Pagliarulo definitely not having his best game. He commits the 2-base error, and now he has an inning, a rally-killing double play. He's 0 for 3, so not one of his best games, obviously. There's Tollison, 6-2, switch hitter batting left as a fly ball right field X. We're looking at Sierra, 2E12. 2E12 for Sierra. Pretty good outfielder. 2 and an 8, he'll get to that. We're checking for the error in right field. That's an 8, and he's an E12. E12, there is no 8, and a 2 and an 8 is a F2. So that's going to do it. Fly to right ends the inning. Correa makes it through 6 innings. And now that means that Rasmussen cannot win it. He can only lose it, depending on what else happens the rest of the game. But Tim Stoddard is going to come on. He had that rough outing yesterday, gave up 4 runs in 1 inning, but Lou Piniella wants to get him back out there and get him back on the horse and get his confidence back. So we'll see if he can, in fact, do that. So we'll bring in Tim Stoddard, the right-hander. On the replay, Tim Stoddard, after that lousy outing he just had, is 2-2. His ERA has jumped up to 4.22. He's got no saves. 21 innings pitched, 23 hits, 5 walks, and 24 strikeouts. 3.50 is his ERA real world, but it's up to 4.22 after that rough outing. And he's going to face the top of the order in Bob Brower. It'll be Brower, Fletcher, and Sierra. 2-5, and that is a ground ball to short. Handled this time easily by Tollison. There was no X on that one, so routine on that one. 1 away, and here's Scott Fletcher. Fletcher 1 for 3. 6-5 is a strikeout, so Stoddard trying to redeem himself. Piniella giving him that chance. Here's Sierra. 6-9, and that is a fly to left. So 1-2-3 inning for Tim Stoddard. That means he can come back for the 8th because he does have a fatigue of 2 on that fly ball to left field. Correa will come back out to start the 7th, but he's on a very short leash. And since we're in the 7th inning, we can pinch hit. So they're going to pinch hit for Joel Skinner. They need offense. So they'll give up the defense of Skinner. The new catcher will be Rick Cerrone. The pinch hitter will be Danny Pasqua. So let's get these notations completed. Pasqua to pinch hit in the 7th, and Cerrone will catch in the 8th. In the Texas bullpen, let's look at their bullpen and see who they have available and who's tired. Remember, Mahorsic pitched 2 2/3, so he's at the back end of the bullpen only for emergencies. You do have right-hander Greg Harris, and you have 2 left-handers, Ron Meredith and the Wild Thing, Mitch Williams. They're both available, or all 3 are available, I should say. Yankees, kind of a mix of left and right, so there's really no advantage one way or the other. So it looks like Greg Harris, the right-hander, is loosing in the Texas bullpen, just in case Correa should falter. 2-1 ball game. Let's bring in on the computer Pasqua to pinch hit. Pasqua will pinch hit for Skinner. On the replay, Pasqua is hitting .236, 6 homers, 14 driven in. He hit .233 real world. So pretty much right on time with that. But we are at the 7th inning stretch, and that means take me out to the ball game. I'm going to go down and heat my coffee. It's just a perfect excuse to do that while the take me out to the ball game is going on. It gives me time to run down and get my coffee without missing a beat. So 7th inning stretch time. Hope you're enjoying your Friday and sing Take Me Out to the Ball Game. Okay, we are back. Had a slight delay. Tabby was waiting by her food bowl. She had eaten all her food and she wanted more, so I had to take care of that situation, get her straightened out. And now, with the coffee warmed up, we are ready for the bottom of the 7th. Dan Pascal to pinch hit against Ed Correa, who's trying to hang in there. See what he can do. It's pinch hitting the catcher Skinner. 4-2, ground ball shortstop X. That is Fletcher. 3E26 for Fletcher. 3-10, he'll get to that. E26 and an 11 for a shortstop. E26, there's a 12, but no 11, so it's a good play for Fletcher. He makes the play. Pasqua is retired. Cerrone will be the new catcher going forward. Greg Harris still loosening in the Texas bullpen. And that will send up Ricky. He is 0 for 3. He's definitely due. 6-5, but he strikes out. There's a dot there, but Correa is not tired yet, so the strikeout is good. 4th strikeout for Correa. 2 down for Willie Randolph. So they're Texas getting everything they could hope for out of Correa in this game. 2-6, and that's trouble. 1-7 is a double, 8-20 is a single. So it's a 2-out double for Willie Randolph. And now what do you do with Mattingly? First base is open, but do you walk Mattingly intentional and pitch to Claudell Washington? Do you put the go-ahead run on base? That's very interesting as to what they want to do with this. Bobby Valentine's given the 4 fingers. They're going to walk. They're going to walk intentionally Don Mattingly. And that will be walk number 6 for Correa to go with his 4 strikeouts. But they're playing the percentages that so they're going to see what they can do here with Claudell. It is now a clutch situation with 2 outs, and Claudell gains a hit on 3-10 and 3-6, also on 1-6. So he's a positive on the clutch side. See what Correa can do here against Claudell. 6-8 left-handed is a walk, and that's the danger when you intentionally walk. Now you're going to produce more walks. That's the 7th walk for Correa, and I believe he's going to come out of this game. Yes, he will. He has now officially reached fatigue, and so now with the bases loaded and Mr. May, Dave Winfield, coming up, they will go with Greg Harris out of the bullpen. Mr. May, Dave Winfield, got a shot right here to do something if he can. But the call has been made to the bullpen by Bobby Valentine to get Greg Harris. On the replay, Greg Harris is 0-1 with a save, an ERA of 4 even. 27 innings pitched, 26 hits, 12 walks, and 17 strikeouts. In real world, he was 5-10 with a 4.86 ERA. He eventually went into the starting rotation, but he started the season. He kind of went back and forth depending on what they needed. But he is in the bullpen for this one in a very tough spot. Didn't want to bring in Mitch Williams with the bases loaded because he's propensity of him to walk guys. So didn't feel like that was a good idea. So Greg Harris is your new pitcher for Texas. He's a -1 hole, so that makes him a 0. All right, so bases loaded, 2 outs, clutch situation for Mr. Winfield. And again, a 111, he gets a hit on the clutch. Everything else, he's neutral. 2 outs. Yankees can use it. They're down 2-1. Harris the pitch. 3-8, and it's a ground ball to third, so Winfield fails again. And the Yankees don't score. Harris bails out Correa once again and gets him out of the jam. So we go to the 8th inning. Score still 2-1 Rangers. And coming in to catch will be Rick Cerrone as a pinch hit for Tollison with Pasqua. So Cerrone takes over behind the plate. Stoddard will stay in the game, obviously. He hasn't pitched. He only pitched 1 inning, so he's going to get a chance to pitch again. He went 3 up, 3 down, so he didn't have any issues. So he's going to come back out and start the 8th. Final line on Correa, he's going to go 6 2/3, give up 5 hits and a run, 7 walks, and 4 strikeouts. So an interesting pitching line for him. But the 1 run is the only one that counts, is what's on the scoreboard. All the other stuff is just fluff. So Stoddard will face Incaviglia, O'Brien, and Parrish to start the top of the 8th. Surprisingly, only a 2-1 game. I was expecting way more runs than this. Of course, there's still 2 more innings to go, and there could be an outburst. You never know. Never know how the dice are going to roll. So let's get this a little bit more in position here so you can see what's going on, hopefully. Incaviglia stepping to the plate. 6-3, and that's a ballpark single check. 1-7. That's a 5. It's a base hit. Devil Die comes up low again. Incaviglia is aboard. Rangers are going to make a move, I do believe, for a pinch runner for Incaviglia and a better defensive outfielder, although they don't have a whole lot to put in the outfield. Boy, do they have anybody. Let's check their roster. Their available players off the bench. I don't think they have much. They really don't. Unless we move somebody to the outfield from somewhere else. They really don't have anybody that can play the outfield with any sort of consistency. Actually, what they're going to do here, they're going to move Jeff Kunkel from second base to left field. He can't play left field. He's a 4E16, exactly what Incaviglia is. He will be in left field, and a pinch runner and a new second baseman is going to be Jerry Brown. He runs at a 15. So Jerry Brown's going to pinch run for Incaviglia, stay in the game to play second base. So he will stay in the game to play second base, will Jerry Brown, and Kunkel will move to left field. All right, so hope that all makes sense. Clear as mud, I know. Bottom line is Jerry Brown is the new runner, and Incaviglia is out of the game. So Brown taking over at first base as the pinch runner, which means the Yankees have to pay him attention. Brown hit 271 real world, but more importantly, he can get the lead on a 2 or a 4 through 9. Stoddard is a +4 arm, so that doesn't help the cause either. Makes it even worse. We can get a bigger lead. So they're going to see if Brown can obtain the lead. He needs a 2 or a 4 through 9, and 11 he gets picked off. That's a 4. He does get the lead, so Brown's going to go. Brown's a 15, being held a 13, but the +4 is a 17. 1-17, he steals it. The T rating on Cerrone, let's see if he wants to try to throw it or concede the base. Cerrone's T rating is only a 2, so they'll go ahead and throw through. But once again, it's a 17. 1-17, he's safe. And he's in there. It's a 3, so it's a possible throwing error, but it's only a T2, so it's not thrown away. But Brown will steal second base, and that gets him in scoring position with nobody out for Pete O'Brien. Stolen base for Jerry Brown. Pete O'Brien, your batter. Left-hander. Stepping to the plate. 1, it's a wild pitch chance on Stoddard. Let's get his wild pitch numbers off the computer because the 87 cards don't reflect that. On the computer says that Stoddard's wild pitch rating is a 6. 1-6. Nope, no wild pitch. It's blocked. Here is O'Brien. 2-8 for O'Brien against the right-hander. Ground ball, shortstop A. That'll freeze the runner. But by stealing the base, they stayed out of the double play. So sometimes stealing bases is not about necessarily scoring a run. It's about staying out of a double play. It has multiple facets to the advantages of doing that. Here's Larry Parrish, designated hitter. He is 0 for 3. Did reach on an error. Staying at second base, running well, is Jerry Brown. He will be held at second base. That's a 4-8. 4-8 for Stoddard is a base on balls. That'll bring up Don Slaught. Bob Shirley, a left-hander, is tossing in the Yankee bullpen. And if we get to a left-handed hitter, Pagliarulo, with the innings still going, they're going to bring in the lefty to face Pagliarulo. So, I'm sorry, not Pagliarulo, to face the next lefty. But there's a lot of righties coming up, so it should be okay. Stoddard facing Slaught. That's a 4-9, and that's a strikeout. He's not tired yet, so the strikeout is good. 2 down for Buechele. So 2 outs, 2 on. Brown still being held at second. Buechele in the clutch against right-handers. Hello, Kent. Good to see you. Classic Sports Replays. Good deal. Yeah, I used to do that all the time when I was working. I would listen to guys playing, which is why I'm doing this in the morning, to give you guys something to listen to if you so choose. Buechele on the clutch, 110. He's out on the clutch. He loses a hit. That's the only number he has. First and second, 2 down, top of the 8th. Texas leading 2-1, looking for more against Stoddard. Buechele. 2-10 for Buechele. 1-10 is a single. 1-13 is a single. 14 or higher is a line out. That's an 8, but it's only a 1-star single, so it's going to load the bases. Bases are now loaded. You wonder if the Rangers might pinch hit for Kunkel here and try to get, although Kunkel is in left field, so they don't have a whole lot of people to play left field since they took Incaviglia out. So they may be stuck with Kunkel. Stoddard is now tired. That's the other thing to worry about. So they're going to make the move and remove Stoddard. And let's see who they're going to choose to bring in from the bullpen. Looks like they're going to go with right-hander Cecilio Guante. Cecilio Guante will be coming on. Not Bob Shirley, because there are right-handers involved. So Cecilio Guante will be coming on in place of Stoddard in a very tight situation with the bases loaded and 2 outs. Cecilio Guante. He's a +4 on the hold as well. Yankee pitcher just didn't hold runners very well back then. So let's bring in Guante and get his numbers on the replay. Can't do the totals on Stoddard yet because all these runners are his responsibility. So Guante on the replay. See what he did, what his numbers show. He is 3-0 with a save, 3.38 earned run average, 29 innings pitched, 27 hits, 13 walks, 41 strikeouts. He's pitched extremely well because in real world, his ERA was 5.73, but he has done very, very well in the replay. The dice just been falling his way, I guess. So bases loaded, 2 outs. They're going to have to stick with Kunkel because I don't believe there's anybody else that can play left field. They already took out. Well, they could move up. Well, they would really be hurting themselves defensively. They're going to, since they've got the lead, they're going to go ahead and let Kunkel hit against Guante. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Top of the 8th with a tight 2-1 ball game. Kunkel. 3-6 for Kunkel, and he strikes out to end the inning. So Guante leaves them loaded, and Texas comes away empty-handed. And that's going to end the top of the 8th inning. Huge strikeout for Guante. So now on the Strat computer, need to move Kunkel from second base to left field. And then Jerry Brown, who came in to run for Incavilla, will stay in the game, play second base. Of course, Harris will stay in the pitch. He only faced one batter. Get the numbers on Stoddard for his outing. Stoddard officially 1 2/3. 2 hits, no runs, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. So, Greg Harris back out to start the bottom of the 8th, and he'll be facing Ward, Pagliarulo, and Tollison. And Cerrone is the number 4 hitter because he took Skinner's place after they pinch hit for Skinner. So it's Ward, Pagliarulo, Tollison, and if anybody gets on, Rick Cerrone against Greg Harris. May need to move these cards over. Let me take a quick look here. Now, it looks like on my computer, looks like they're hanging in there to the edge here very, very closely. So I think you can still see them. All right, here's Gary Ward. 6-6 on Harris is going to be a base on balls. So a leadoff walk, not what you want. A leadoff walk. Now, do they pinch run? Well, Ward's a 14, so he's not a bad runner. But they could bring in somebody even faster. Since Ward is the DH, you don't have to worry about positioning. Cotto's a 15. Boy, it's a tough call. They're going to bring in Henry Cotto to pinch run for Gary Ward. He's a little bit faster, plus he's got a chance to steal a base. So Cotto will pinch run for Gary Ward here in the 8th. Stay in the game to DH. Henry Cotto. To get the lead, Cotto needs a 2 through 7. He gets the 7, so he gets the lead. He's a 15, being held as a 13, a 0. So 1 to 13, he will steal it. So let me go on the Strat computer and bring in Cotto as the pinch runner so he can attempt this steal. Cotto, on the replay, has not stolen any bases. He stole 4 bases real world. Got caught twice. Did Cotto. He only had 149 at-bats and hit 235, but his stolen base chance is a 1 to 13. This will be his. He's stolen, actually, in the replay, he has stolen. Yeah, he hasn't stolen any bases yet. This will be his first attempt to steal a base, 1 to 13, and he will be in there. And he's in there, stolen base. Stolen base for Henry Cotto. Huge stolen base. Gets him into scoring position with nobody out. And now you got Pags coming up. Pags is 0 for 3, though. So Harris is going to pitch to Pags. Mitch Williams, the wild thing is loosening in the bullpen. Harris to Pags. 1-5 for Pags. He's going to ground it to first. That will move Cotto over to third base with only 1 out. And had we not stolen, that would have been a double play. So again, another reason why you steal is to stay out of double plays. So hold on here. Something didn't work right the way I wanted it to. Hold on. I got to fix something on the computer. Got to fix something on the computer to make sure we're right here. Just a quick little administrative thing here to get this straight. Don't want anything to go south here. I want to make sure everything is copacetic. All right, so Ward drew the walk. Problem was on the computer, I had put in Cotto before I put Ward at first base, and it had Cotto at bat instead of being on base, so that was the problem. Now that Ward's on first, now I can bring in Cotto and have him steal second base. And that will get everything up to speed. And the ground out by Pagliarulo moves him to third base. All right, one out, runner at third. It's Wayne Tollison. Tollison is 1 for 3. Infield in for the Rangers, obviously. 2, chance for a balk or a pass ball. And if it's a pass ball, they're in trouble because Slott's a 16. But we're looking at balk rating on Greg Harris. Got to go to the computer for that. Greg Harris's balk rating is showing up as a 6. 1 to 6, he will balk in a run. Oh, it was a 2, and it flipped to a 20 at the last minute, so no balk. Umpire was getting ready to call the balk and waved it off. So Tollison is up with the bases low, with the runner on third and infield in. That's a 1-9, and that is a ground ball first base B. And with the B and the infield in, I do believe Cotto is out at the plate. Look at the super advanced chart. Runner on third, ground ball B is a 5. And that says if hit to second or short, batter out, runner advance 1. Oh, I'm looking at the outfield back. No, my bad. Third, ground ball B is a 7. Batter safe, lead runner is out. So they throw him out. How about that on a 1-9? O'Brien fires to the plate, and they get Cotto out at the plate 3-2. It's a fielder's choice, but the out is recorded 3-2. Huge out for the Rangers. 3-2 is the play. Is a great throw by first baseman Pete O'Brien. Gets him out 2 down. And now it's up to Rick Cerrone, his first at bat. Hello, Kathy. Good to see you. Rick Cerrone is first at bat since coming in for Skinner. Cerrone on the replay hitting 293, 2 homers, 10 driven in. Hit 243 real world. Clutch situation, not a clutch situation anymore because the runner's at first. Hello, midlife. So Harris pitching to Cerrone. And he can't pitch it for Cerrone because there's no other catchers. 4-10. That's ballpark blast. It's a 1-8. He has normal power, but the double die this time is a 15, so it's just a deep fly to left to end the inning, and it keeps the score at 2-1. Amazing. Yankees had a golden opportunity and let it slip through their fingers. We go to the 9th. We do go to the 9th inning. That'll be it for Harris. They're going to bring in Mitch Williams to try to close it out in the 9th. For the Yankees, they're going to come back with Guante. He only faced 1 batter. So Guante it is to face the top of the order, Brower, Fletcher, and Sierra. Top of the 9th, 2-1 ball game. Both Texas runs were unearned, thanks to a Pagliarulo 2-base error. Run by the Yankees in the first. Randolph walked. Mattingly singled him to second. Winfield walked to load the bases, and Ward walked to bring in the run. Guante, 1-3 to Brower. Split chance, 1-4 is a single, 5-20 lines out. That's a line out to the shortstop Tollison, 1 away. 1 down, and that sends up Scotty Fletcher. He is 1 for 4. 3-5 for Fletcher is a fly ball to left. 2 down for Ruben Sierra. One 9. That's a ground ball to Pagliarulo. That will end the inning. So Guante was perfect. He goes an inning and a third, gives up nothing with a strikeout. So we go to the bottom of the 9th, last chance for the Yankees. They have to get their rally caps on, and they'll have to do it against the wild thing, Mitch Williams. It will be the top of the order for the Yankees. It'll be Henderson, Randolph, and Mattingly due up. But the wild thing, Mitch Williams. And his hold rating is a -6, so you're going to be hard to press to steal against that. Let's get the numbers on Greg Harris on the replay. See how he did. Tidy up this logistics here at the last minute. Computer is telling me that Greg Harris is now tired, but that's irrelevant because he's coming out of the game anyway. So Harris in the ball game went an inning and a third. 1 walk, no strikeouts. All right, so it's Mitch Williams or bust for the Rangers. It'll be Ricky Henderson, Willie Randolph, and Don Mattingly, the batters. I'm trying to make this so it fits. When you get to the end of the score sheet, sometimes the right side of the cards fall off where the camera is showing. But since the Yankees are facing lefties, we're always going to be looking in the blue for them. But we need the red or pink shaded or whatever you call it for Mitch Williams. So I guess I'll leave him here. I guess that'll work. All right, we'll try it. Ricky Henderson to lead things off against the Wild thing. 2-6, and that's a single to center for Ricky. And you know he's going to be looking to run. Even with that -5, he's still going to be looking to get the lead. It'd be a 1-12 if he could pull it off. But you know Ricky, he's going to try for the lead. It's a 3, does not get the lead, but it's a 2, possible balk on Mitch Williams. So even though he couldn't get the lead, he may have forced a balk here. So let's see if he forces a balk on Mitch Williams. First of all, I forgot to bring in Mitch Williams on the computer, so let me do that real quick. Mitch Williams coming in, and on the replay, Williams is 0-2 with 6 saves, 6.08 earned run average, 13 innings pitched, 10 hits, 15 walks, 19 strikeouts. So Ricky Henderson with the single, and now we're checking the balk rating on Mitch Williams. His balk rating is 7. So 1-7, he will balk Ricky to second base. And he does with a 7 right on the number. So Ricky gets balked to second base. And again, just because you don't steal, he still creates havoc. So the balk will move him to second base with nobody out for Willie Randolph. Randolph, a pretty good bunter, but do you really want to give up an out here? I think you want to take 3 shots at bringing Henderson in from second base. Henderson will be held at second. Williams to Willie Randolph, who is 2 for 3, single and a double, run scored. It's a 4-9, and that's a strikeout. Mitch Williams, he's known for walks and strikeouts, and there's a strikeout right there. 1 away, and here is Donnie Baseball. Chance for Mattingly to come through. He's singled. He's been walked intentionally. He's also walked on his own. Lefty on lefty matchup with Mitch Williams. 4-7, and that is a ground ball shortstop X. We're looking at Fletcher. Fletcher is responsible for holding Ricky because of the left-handed batter, so he will move from a 3 to a 4. Because he was responsible for holding on Ricky against the left-handed batter. So Fletcher will change this to a 4, which could be huge the way the devil die shows up. 4 and a 10, that can make all the difference in the world instead of a 3 and a 10. 3 and a 10 would be a G2. 4 and a 10 is a G3 pound, but the pound sign means it's a single 2 stars. So Ricky causing havoc and allowing that base hit to get through. Mattingly singles, and we got a tie ball game. Ricky Henderson was the cause of all of that. The cause of everything. We got a tie game. So Rasmussen is off the hook, and Correa will not get the win. Here's Claudell Washington. Mattingly at first, certainly not going to go anywhere. Not going to be held. Claudell, 2-8. That's a single to left field for Claudell Washington. First and second with only 1 out. Yankees don't really have anybody to pinch run for Mattingly, so they're kind of stuck with who they have. He is a 12, which is okay, but now you got Mr. May. He hasn't done anything the entire game, and George Steinbrenner is motioning down to Lou Piniella, telling Winfield he better do something. So we'll see. Winfield against Mitch Williams. Got a chance to be the hero, or can be an extra place goat here. 5-6, and that is a walk. It's going to load the bases. So bases are loaded for the new DH, Henry Cotto. This will be his first at bat since pinch running for Gary Ward. The bases are loaded, but Henry Cotto will not bat. It will be a pinch hitter, and that will be Ron Kittle. Ron Kittle with a chance to walk it off right here. And if it goes extra innings, he will stay in as the DH. So Ron Paw Kittle pinch hitting here in the bottom of the ninth against Mr. Mitch Williams. And we'll get the numbers on Kittle on the replay. Kittle. This will leave Len Sakata as the only bench player remaining for the Yankees. Kittle on the replay hitting .306, 6 homers, 16 driven in. He had .277 real world. So Mitch Williams in trouble. Bases loaded, 1 out. Do you play the infield in? I think you have to. I mean, there are some ground ball A's here, but can you really take a chance that he won't get it? There is a plus sign here, though. You know what? There's 2 plus. They're going to play the infield for double play. I don't see any ground ball B's on his card, so they're playing back for the double play. I know it might be gaming the system a little bit, but infield is double play depth on the slow running Kittle, who has a propensity to hit into double plays. 4-3, doesn't matter, we're off the pitcher card. 4-3 ground ball first base X. That is O'Brien. He's a 2E12. Can they turn the double play? Double Die says no. It's a 3. How do you like that? A 2 and a 3? It's a G3 pound. They weren't holding anybody on, but his only play was the first base. He has no play at the plate, and that's the ball game. Had they been in, it would have been a base hit because of the pound sign, so it wouldn't have mattered anyway. They would have scored either way. So it's not a base hit. It's going to be a 3 unassisted, but doesn't matter. The run's going to score. Yankees win. Yankees win. The Yankees win. A very awkward ending, but if you play the infield in, that pound sign means the ball gets through for a single. So, you know, what do you do? He stepped on first and then threw to home thinking he could get the runner at home, but the throw was not in time. So a misjudgment and error there by O'Brien. Couldn't quite do it. Yankees win it on a walk-off by Ron Kittle. And we'll get the final totals for both teams. Yankees improved to 22-12. Texas drops the heartbreaker to 14-17. They now split the series as Texas came back and won the previous game against Rigetti. So maybe turnabout's fair play. 3 runs, 8 hits, and 2 errors for the Yankees. 2 runs, 6 hits, and no errors for Texas. The winning pitcher was Cecilio Guante. He now improves to 4-0. He has really had a great season for them. Mitch Williams will take the loss. He is 0-3 now, and his second blown save. 2/3 of an inning, 3 hits, 2 runs, 1 walk, and 1 strikeout. Left on base, both teams left a lot of guys on base. The Rangers left on 10, the Yankees left on 13. So not so great clutch hitting for either team there, but the Yankees pull it out and win it 3-2. Player of the game, boy, who would you give the player of the game to? There's not really anybody out there that's a standout around at all. Mattingly was 2 for 3, so maybe give it to him because he was part of the run scoring here, and he was part of a run scoring here. So possibly you could give it to him. Stoddard and Guante had great relief pitching for 3 innings. But so I'll give it to Mattingly just by default, I guess. I don't know who else to give it to, since he did go 2 for 3 with a RBI and a run scored. We'll give it to Donnie Baseball. He gets the MVP. And now looking at the updated standings after this victory for the Yankees, Yankees now are a half game back of Milwaukee. Milwaukee is 21-10. Yankees are now 22-12. Toronto is 20-11. They're a half game back of the Yankees. So tight knit group there, all cluttered together. Texas drops to 14-17. They are now tied for fifth place with the Twins at 5 games back of Oakland. So a wild one there. There are only 2 more games to play in this May 14th block because there are only 4 games, period. And the next game on the schedule is going to be Cleveland and Chicago from Comiskey Park. It'll be Joel Davis against Tom Candiotti. That will be game number 228. And then game number 229 to wrap up the day will be Toronto and Minnesota from the Metrodome. That will be Les Straker against Dave Steve. So those are the 2 games remaining to be played on the May 14th block. Don't forget, today is Fun Day Friday. So at noon Eastern today, live, I will be playing a game I have not played in a long, long time, but I have played on the channel. So it's not new to me. It's just something I haven't played in a long time. Just like to do that just to kind of mix it up on Fridays, just to be Fun Day Friday. Tomorrow, of course, will be the NBC Game of the Week, 1978 on Season Ticket Baseball. And that will be the Philadelphia Phillies taking on the Cincinnati Reds from Riverfront Stadium. But I do appreciate all you guys and gals, with Kathy here, spending part of your Friday morning with me. Hopefully you're having a great day wherever you are and enjoying the day and getting ready for the weekend. We are in August now. We made it through July, that hot July. We've made it through it. We're into August, and August means football season. So if you're football fans, in fact, they had the Hall of Fame game on last night. So if you're a football fan, I know you're happy because training camps are starting up and preseason games and college football and all that good stuff. But it's also the dog days of summer for baseball as well. So anyway, noon today, if you are so inclined to check out Fun Day Friday. And after that, it'll be tomorrow will be NBC Game of the Week on Season Ticket. So Yankees come back and win a dramatic game 3-2 with 2 runs in the 9th inning. And they improved to 22-12, a half game behind those pesky Milwaukee Brewers for the American League East lead. So that's going to do it from here. Until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I will see you guys down the road.